Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hey there, hi there, oh there. This is Ralph Hayes Jr., RHJunior Reality Check, coming to you live over the internet through a series of tubes known as the Boob Tube YouTube, bringing you another broadcast at a highly irregular time in the dead of night of spleen squeezins. Da 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 da. Oh, well. Okay, great. I've just started another coughing fit. Oh, oh, I hate that. Ever since going to the hospital, I've had this coughing problem that keeps cropping up. I don't know what caused it. I don't know what is causing it. Nothing I have. I use up the last of my cough syrup trying to stop it, and here I am hawking up a lung. I don't know. It's not a congested. It's almost like an allergic cough. I don't know, like an allergic cough. I don't know. Oh. Give me a second. I'm trying to pull up the musica for the background audio library. Free music, yay! Chunky junk in my lungs. Playlists. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on. Computer's sitting here. I click on something, the computer just sits there and stares at me. I'm like, what did I do wrong? Here we go. I'm just going to set to play straight through. Here we go. Yeah. So, how y'all doing out there? Is there anybody out there other than me watching this? Got an audience of 1. Concurrent viewers 1. Playbacks 1. Average watch time 156 to 225. Hey, how exciting! Concurrent viewers. Let's see, concurrent viewers. There's a thingamajiggy here. It's playbacks. I have no idea what playbacks are. I have no idea how to read this stuff. The media is lying again. You can tell their lips are moving. Among other things, let's see. The first thing, the first outrageous, obvious lies. They're claiming that Bush, pardon me, that Trump called World War he called American veterans losers. I think it was the Atlantic Herald, something like that. A newspaper. You wouldn't have read it. Nobody else does. But they're coming out saying Trump was scheduled to go to uh, Arlington for this was a year ago. They're claiming this happened. They were supposed to go to Arlington. He said no. It's raining. There are a bunch of and that they were that all the bunch of losers and jokers anyway. And okay, the newspaper is citing 4 anonymous sources. You know, why not claim 23? Why are you going to play that game? Why not play? Claim 23, 100, 200. 500 anonymous sources were reported as. Yeah, well, of those 4 anonymous sources, nobody's coming forward to give a name, but 11 people who were on the plane with Bush that day have come forward giving their names and saying it's the biggest, most ridiculous lie they've ever heard. How childish. I mean, how utterly childish. That's the best they can come up with. Claim he said something mean. There are dumbasses out there all over the place falling for it. Some guy was practically, some guy was writing in the forums, practically, in one of the forums, or practically jerking off with glee because his next door neighbor, who is an American vet, went out after the news and pulled down his own Trump sign. I'm like, let me get this straight. You're going to listen to, you're going to take the word of these, these butt-hatted ass clowns about something so spurious, and that's going to change your whole opinion. The guy was apparently a Marine veteran. I could make a joke about, crayon eating, but I think he's made the joke for us. You're not gullible. You're an American soldier. You're not dumb. Anybody that falls for that deserves to. Really, holy crap. Just. And there was a big motorcycle gathering. What was it? Let me see if I can find it. I forget exactly what the gathering was. It was all over the news. It's all over the news feeds and such. I'm sorry, Donald Trump. This is a man who has contributed, millions of dollars out of his own pocket to veterans organizations. He has gone out of his way to visit our national cemeteries and memorials. He is respectful. He respects the armed forces and the men of our armed forces. And you have to be you have to have the mentality of a toddler, of a school child, to fall for something like this. Oh, it was in the newspaper. I can show you all sorts of things that are in the newspaper. I'm looking for this gathering that supposedly. The other big fuss that they're making, that the liberals are making, is that there was this huge gathering of, I believe it was a motorcycle enthusiast gathering. There was several 100,000 people there, and they were running around screaming blamer that this was some sort of super contagion. And it was spreading COVID everywhere, and they listed over 10,000 tens of thousands of people had gotten affected. Well, guess what? No, it didn't. The report back is there was less than 300 people that came out of that convention that were tested positive for COVID. Uh, you can tell how little they actually believe that these masks running around masks and hand washing and maintaining your distance. They if they had a split second of honesty, they'd admit they don't believe it works. How do you know it doesn't? They don't believe it works because the fact that any gathering that leans in the right political direction gets a free pass from them. Churches get shut down, but Black Lives Matter pre-scheduled riots go right on ahead. It tells you how watch what they do, not what they say. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like just look at what they do, not at what they say. They obviously know that the disease, the COVID virus, has a 99.4% survival rate. It's unbelievable. What is the next thing I'm working right now? I've been pecking away at the next chapter of the Warcrafter. I think right now while I'm doing the show, I can't type a story and talk on a radio an internet radio show at the same time. So let's do something different here. I literally just look at my comic strips and I go, what? And so, you know, I can't think of anything else to draw, so I'm going to draw one of the Pops Auto Girls. Yay! Pinup art. Let's see. Because I am that out of ideas here. Let's see here. Is this it? There we go. I get crumbs all over the place. It's just Ever since I found out I can use my EBT card to shop on uh, Amazon, and I can get groceries and stuff. I can get certain groceries on Amazon. Uh, have to admit that the healthiness of what I buy is ticked downward just a little bit. Not by much, I mean, I was never a health nut to begin with. But, let's see here. Layer, new layer. Oh, what is this? What is this? Okay, just a second. Just a second. I gotta turn it off and turn it back on again. It does that sometimes. Excuse me. I swear. I don't know where I'm going anymore. I just, all those promises, will, a little too thin. Also need it on a higher layer. Not quite. I feel so old. My left hand has gotten so wobbly that I can't really use my stylus anymore. My tablet. This here tells you a lot about the influence that Walt Disney has had on the art world, on the cartoon world. Even now, even though we darn well know We all darn well know that mice do not have great big huge elephant ears. Pick up, go look at a pet mouse sometime. Their ears are fairly small, but we still draw them with these great big, excuse me, these great big huge ears. I'm dying here. I'm dying here, and I don't know of what. No, I'm not drawing her topless either. I'm drawing the underlying forms, and then I'll be drawing the clothes on top. Because, well, you'd be surprised how easy it is to get it wrong. I remember my dad talking about, nobody needs to know how to draw a woman naked to know how to draw her clothes. And I'm like, Dad, that's why you're a photographer. Pick up a copy of any book by Bern Hogarth. Bern Hogarth's Dynamic Anatomy. He pretty much perfected the techniques for drawing the human form. And you have to know a tremendous, you have to know a tremendous amount of anatomical structure, bones, muscles, so on and so forth, to get it right. Even if you draw somebody, bundled up in a robe, you have to know where the muscles and everything else go. Damn it. The pen keeps resetting itself. Been reading an interesting fanfic. It's called Verily. What is this? I'll have to look it up here. It's Verily a New Hope. It's a Star Wars fanfic. And the idea is that Anakin Skywalker, instead of ending up trained by he ends up being trained by Yoda's brother. And he and Yoda are sort of on the outs because of philosophical differences about the Force, to put it mildly. It's fun reading. Picturing Yoda as a cultural rebel in the days of the Republic. Now, moving things around a bit. Get them lined up properly. It's tricky using this particular pen because you have to do it perfectly smoothly and perfectly even, or you get little hitches. It'll smooth the lines out for you, but it'll only do so much. Come on. Close up of a boob. Close up of a boob. Ah! Okay. Come on, computer. Quit lagging. Well, I'm not on any blood pressure meds, so that couldn't be it for the cough. If I remember correctly, it was one of those guys like Boris Vallejo or somebody. His wife posed for him for most of his pictures. I don't know how the hell the man got any work done. Come home, find your woman lying on the couch, wearing a couple of Christmas garlands, and maybe wearing nothing but a couple of Christmas garlands, maybe a couple of Christmas star in strategic locations, and paint me like one of your French girls. I'd be like, the paint can wait. There's not like one of your French was like, paint me like one of your Conan the Barbarian women. I've got Amazon Prime. It's worth the investment. Just to, it saves time on shipping and lets me get stuff and all that other stuff. And it also means I get free movies. I watched Guns Akimbo the other night. For those who don't know, Guns Akimbo is starring Daniel Radcliffe. Daniel Radcliffe, that's the name of the guy that played Harry Potter. And what it is that he's a meek, mild mannered little nobody who does computer programming for one of these the stupid. He admits it is a pointless job. He does programming for a Facebook game. he had wanted to get into computer gaming and computer game design. And that's where he'd ended up making a crappy, working for his crappy little company, making this crap, keeping this crappy little game on that pilfered money out of people's pockets. Anyway. One night he gets bored, he gets drunk, he goes on a website for this underground deathmatch game called Schism, and starts trolling people there. He's drunk off his can. He doesn't, and the next morning, the people that the guy that masterminds the whole thing takes offense to some of the things he said, and shows up. They show up the next morning. He and his thugs. And they take Daniel Radcliffe, and they tell him, "Guess what? You're a new contestant." And they bolt a pair of high-capacity semi-automatics to his hands. Each gun has 50 bullets in it. And they say, "Oh, by the way, our top contestant is coming this way to kill you. Good luck," and leave him in his house, leave him in his apartment to try and survive. You've probably seen images from that movie. Daniel Radcliffe standing there. He's in boxers and a t-shirt and a bathrobe and bunny slippers of all things, and he's standing there, holding these two guns in his hands. That's from that movie. Not for kids. Let's put it that way. This movie's not for kids. Oh, we're going to watch a movie about Harry Potter. Ah! I feel kind of sorry for Daniel Radcliffe. It's obvious that the reason he's doing this is, he's getting into all this edgy crap. He's desperately trying to prove that he's not Harry Potter. You see that a lot with these kid stars. They grow up and they spend the rest of their lives desperately trying to get away from a character they played for like a couple of years when they were 12. And you gotta figure Daniel Radcliffe and Rupert Grint and what's her name, the Golden Trio from Harry Potter. They're stuck. They gotta be stuck. Because they literally those movies were literally their entire childhood, from the time they were about 12 to the time they were about 18. Daniel Radcliffe came out of it with a desperate need to prove himself away from Harry Potter. What's her name? The girl who played Hermione Granger came out with it with an ego the size of a small planet. Oh, no lie, no lie. That you're just big old head. I mean, she's out there addressing the United Nations as if she knew jack shit about women's issues anywhere in the world other than right in her own living room. But she's a celebrity. Rupert Grint is the only one that seems to have come out of it more or less a decent, with his head on straight. He's done a couple of things in British television, but other than that, he's, laid back about it. My favorite thing about him is that his childhood dream was to own a Mr. Whippy ice cream truck, and that's what he's, everybody, all these other, Hollywood celebrities are going, these kid movie stars are going out and buying, sports cars and limousines and fancy mansion. What does he get? A Mr. Whippy ice cream truck. And the fun thing is, he actually he said he drove it out there once. He drove it around once around the neighborhood, and he realized a lot of kids were chasing him, thinking he had ice cream. So the very next day, he went out, he loaded up the thing, loaded up the freezers with popsicles, push pops, and stuff, and he gives it out. He goes out driving it, and he gives it out for free. And I'm like, and you people wonder why Ron is my favorite character in the series. You don't know how tempted I am sometimes. Mm. I'm tempted. I'm thinking of just leaving it like this. I don't want to over render it. Just keep picking at it until I ruin it. Yeah. Okay, games like Doom and videos like Satina Daniel Radcliffe. Oh yeah, he could do. He probably could do a pretty good Bond. He, like I was saying, this movie. I saw a movie I watched. Guns Akimbo. That's the name of the movie, and he did a pretty good job. Uh, over the course of the movie, he goes from uh, just being this confused, frightened everyman who's been dropped in over his head, and he gets pushed over the edge basically, and he does not get the girl at the end. He does not get the girl at the end. That's the interesting thing. Is that about the halfway point, he has a girlfriend on again, off again girlfriend, and the villains kidnap. He tries to run and leave the city, and the villains kidnap her and inform him that if he doesn't play the game, they'll kill her. And so he ends up teaming up with the other player who's coming after him, and stages a berserk rescue mission to save the girl. And at the end of the movie, he says, he finally kills the bad guy at the very last, and at that point, they have the guys rushing together, and all of a sudden he fades back, and it fades back in, and he's lying there on the roof. He kills the guy, throws him off the roof, and he's lying there going into a hemorrhagic shock. In a voiceover, he explains, it's a funny thing. Seeing your kind of sort of boyfriend blast away a bunch of people and then throw a guy off a roof doesn't tend to give most girls massive lady boners. What it does tend to give them is post-traumatic stress disorder. After seeing what I had gone through, she didn't want to. She never wanted to see me again. And I got to admit, yeah, that's probably a lot more likely outcome of going in all Rambo and rescuing the girl. Yeah, nice girl, great clothes, good butt. Yeah, okay. Save it. Save as. Okay, I'm going to post it on the website. I'm going to put something on the website once in a blue moon. Scratching off, let's see here. go. I'm starting to wonder if this is it for me, you know. When I was in the hospital, the social worker lady kept talking up all these things. Oh, we'll get this done. We'll get that done. Uh, we'll have some people to help you with this and that and this and that and this and that and now I just yeah. And lately, all I'm hearing is talk. You know, I was just nothing seemed to have gotten done, and kind of stresses me out a little. I know when you go through all these. Let me inform you. Nobody. I don't. You'd have to be epic level. I mean, epic level. Not give a crapitis. Not just lazy, but just suicidally apathetic. I'm thinking, just is like, just utterly apathetic to want to leave your fate in the hands of government bureaucracy. That's what I'm saying. Because to want to be on the welfare docket and on the on Social Security and on all these other government programs, because the government can't be arsed to do anything in a sane amount of time. I have been poking away at getting Social Security disability for over 2 years now. And how many different ways do we have to say it, people? He can, he's bloated and deformed. He can barely walk. He needs his Social Security to survive. But no, I gotta play more games, and I have no idea. I have no flippin' idea what this guy who's supposedly doing all that. Well, I have no idea what he's doing. What could he possibly be doing that is taking this long? I mean, you got stuff from the doctors, you got stuff from the hospice, you got stuff from the hospital, you got. You can't do in 2 years. I could have died a half dozen times in the time it takes them to figure out whether or not. And I was in the hospital and the lady came in and she said, I explained my situation, and I needed help, and that that I just needed someone to help me. Somebody could run some help. That there's got to be some sort of organization out there that helps old disabled people keep up their homes. Just to haul the trash out and to fetch their medicine from the pharmacy. That kind of crap. Little things. They're constantly asking me if I need somebody to help me wash my frickin' hair. No, I do not need somebody to help me wash my frickin' hair. I do not need somebody to wipe my butt. I need somebody to help me, get these, get the trash and the broken crap out of my house. I need somebody. I need help. Getting my roof patched, my floor patched, and when I was talking to this lady when I was in the arbor, she's oh, they've got all sorts of programs that can help you, and they can do all these things, and they can do all these things, and I was like, great, yeah, and they'll have these things, and they'll probably get them started before you even leave, and I'm great, and I'm all for this. I'm in a situation where I have, I can barely afford any of the pride I have left, so, and and I get here, and it's been 2 weeks, and the nurses have been by, check and make sure I have they check my blood pressure, they check my pulse, and listen to me with a stethoscope, make sure I'm not dead and I just don't know it yet, and that's all they can do. The home care nurses that are doing this for me, just checking to make sure that I'm not, dying of some horrible disease and nobody knows, this much, I'm keeping a service because doggone, I need somebody to come by and make sure I'm still alive once or twice a week. But they can't even go to the pharmacy and pick up my prescriptions for me. I had to transfer them. I have a couple of prescriptions I just got. And I had to transfer them over to a pharmacy in Vienna that does home delivery to get them to my door. Thank God they exist. But and every time we're looking into it, we're looking into this, we're looking into that. Everybody's looking, but nobody's doing. And I got to say this, people that are on, if they have any inkling that life could be better, there's no way that anybody would willingly want to live like this. Just having to constantly beg and wheedle and pick and nag and nag and nag and nag and nag and nag to get anything done. And you feel like shit because you're there with your hand your hand out and your hat in your hand, but at the same time they keep making promises and they never seem to get around to it. This is why so many people, this is why the people, this is probably why the people that are in the Social Security system, in the welfare system, are so idle, because they're idle because they're waiting. And if they go out and try, and do anything for themselves, it can bugger up the whole system for them. I used to see people who live like I'm living like now. I was horrified, and I go, how could they stand to live like this? And I realized it happens, and now I'm here myself, and I'm like, it happens an inch at a time until you're suddenly buried and you didn't realize it was happening. Yeah, backing up here, Elon T. Mug, writers liking bad endings. It wasn't necessarily a bad ending. Uh, the movie wasn't, basically, it was basically an action movie where reality ensues. And see, it has a surprisingly complicated plot, actually. There's all sorts of things going on in the background of the story of the movie Guns Akimbo that all sort of come together at the end. The girl that is hunting him, Nix, uh, actually she is the daughter of the police chief. She was locked up in a she was locked up in an institution for the criminally insane. You see, it seems that the guy who is running Schism, this online deathmatch game, where they film where they send people out to kill each other and then they film it. The guy that started it all, he started off by planting a bomb in the police chief's car, and it didn't get the police chief, but it killed his family, and the girl was the only survivor. And he made her a contestant, and he's been jerking her around her entire life. That he would give it, that he would clear her name if she gave play. He would give her information that would clear her name, and would give her whoever it was that had killed her father, etc., etc., etc. It's complicated, but and. The thing about him, his ex girlfriend, he saves the girl. He saves his girlfriend, but she doesn't end up falling back into his arms, and he stays there reason basically because of the trauma she'd been through. She had PTSD, and just seeing him after that was a mess. And but the thing of it is that. Between them, between the two of them, they managed to take out the entire Schism organization. It turned out that the guy who was running Schism was planning to franchise it worldwide. He had other psychopaths like himself ready to set up studios all over the globe. And Daniel Radcliffe's character, in the middle of all of the ruckus, he manages to download the information and steal it. And the movie ends. His ex-girlfriend is now a comic book author, like she'd always wanted to be, and she's created a superhero comic called Guns Akimbo. And he's got a new calling in life because he has gone out, because he has the list of all the people that were in the Schism organization. And he's been going around the world. He's gotten the guns detached from his hands, of course. And now he's going out hunting down these guys and blotting them off the map. No, not my customers. I get what you're saying. Uh, Still, why is this taking? Why I'm so tired. I hate going to government people and hearing, "Oh, we can help you with this. We can help you with that. We can help you with this," and then it's happened over and over and over and over. I go to them. Things start up. Everybody's all enthusiastic, and they give me papers to sign and shit, and then I don't hear anything, and I don't hear anything, and I don't hear anything, and I call them back. Oh, we're working on it, and then I don't hear anything more. Being on the government dole is a full-time job and a half. One that sucks. You hear about these people that go into the government, scam it, and walk away with millions. I'm like, I can't begin to imagine what they had to do to accomplish that. Is there a topic I wanted to talk about in stories, but couldn't find a place to put it, or an idea or something that inspired you? Ideas I wanted to talk about. I don't think there's any idea that I have stumbled across that I haven't talked about. I shoot my mouth off about everything. The things that there are lots of things I am tempted to do, That would be very, very, I have to get everything. That would be very, very wrong to do. I almost did it, but I didn't do it. But in the end, I managed to back off. But the temptation is still there. But if I think it's something that needs to be talked about, I'll talk about it. I won't stop. I may be terrible at talking about it, but I'll do it anyway. Yeah, I saw this thing. I saw this thing on the internet. There's a guy. He's a statistician of some sort. He has got a model and a theory. He's got a theory that that the upheavals that we're suffering right now, the violence, the rioting, and all that, it's cyclical. That for our country in particular, he said, we go through these cycles of extreme civic unrest every 50 years, and it's just about right. 50 years ago, it was the hippie movement and the whole Vietnam issue and all, and the civil rights. Everything broiling up. And I'm thinking 50 years before that, in the 1970s, the 1960s, 70s, they say each round lasts anywhere from 5 to 15 years. So 1960s, go back 50 years, the 1900s. From what I don't remember very much about the 1900s. The very, very early 1900s, but it was. I remember there was. I remember reading something about a lot of, anarchists, and Bolsheviks were trying to get traction for Marxism, for socialism, communism. That usual grab bag. And I remember something about them anarchists planting bombs and crap. In like 1910. Of course, around 1910, the 1910 and 1918, you had the First World War, so yeah, it's social upheaval. And 50 years before that, that would have been 18. Well, basically his models, and we go through these decades-long bouts of batshit violence and insanity every 50 years. Kind of a bummer. Excuse me. Oh yeah. Can you hear me there? Can you hear me there? Stupid thing. Don't know if you can hear me, all. Can you? Somebody say something. Testing, testing, 1 2 3. Testing, testing, 1 2 3. Stupid friggin'. Well, crap. What is this? What is? All I'm broadcasting is audio. All I'm broadcasting is audio, and still it can't handle the it chokes on it. This so pisses me off. Messed up. Okay, and now it says I have an excellent connection. What a load of crap. Okay, it looks like the internet's going to be a bitch tonight, and it's been about an hour, kind of short for one of my shows, but we're gonna go ahead and call it a night. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all. If you can if you can spare a buck, toss it in the hat, cause Lord Almighty. Okay. It's, nothing works like it should. Nothing works like it's supposed to. Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here. I don't know if you can hear me or not. We're so out of sync it's not even funny. I have no idea how to fix whatever's wrong. Maybe I'll hang around, maybe I won't, but